If you are ready to start virtually wholesaling, get your first virtual wholesaling deal, maybe your 50th virtual wholesaling deal, and if you are ready to just start wholesaling houses from your laptop, your computer, your phone, whatever it is, this is going to be the complete video for you. In today's full tutorial, live stream, video, whatever, presentation, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to just lay out the exact blueprint of how to go from what is virtual wholesaling to locking up your first deal and wholesaling it with a good title company with absolutely no stress, no problems. I'm going to give you my scripts. I'm going to give you the entire process, because when you guys come back to me and say, Zach, I'm having trouble in virtual wholesaling, I'm going to say, hey, come back to this, and you're going to see exactly step by step the entire virtual wholesaling game of how you can actually start getting your first wholesaling deal when you're doing virtual wholesaling. Or heck, even just if you're locally wholesaling, just add an extra virtual market. I promise you, it's an extra 20, 30, 40 grand a year you can just add into your business by doing this. But guys, it's completely true though. Okay, you do not need to wholesale in your local market. If you have a bad local market, right? You're New York City, LA, New York, right? You probably don't need a wholesale locally, right? You need to go somewhere virtual. And what I wanted to show you today is how to find really a good virtual wholesaling market and how you can actually go out here and do well, right? I want you to understand this. Don't feel like you're stuck where you're at, because you can go anywhere. Like, we have actually a decent population of people watching this that wholesale outside the United States, and they do deals, right? So a big population. We actually have Africa is a huge one. Like, I mean, Canada has the most virtual wholesalers by far, but Africa, Mexico, and then Eastern Europe has a lot of virtual wholesalers, and they're actually all doing deals. Like, it happens all the stinking time. Guys, especially like in the United States, a lot of my people getting these wholesaling real estate deals, they're out of the country, right? That they're either in South America, they are in the Philippines usually, or sometimes in India. That's really more for data scraping. They're not in the United States. And I could frankly say they're probably doing most of the brunt work in my wholesaling real estate operation. So if that can be done like that, you can easily wholesale outside the United States, or just heck, if you live in the United States, you'd be fine. Okay. So you can 100% wholesale houses on your computer and earn checks. Real, like, just honestly, the easy way. Like, there's really an easy way and a hard way to virtually wholesale houses, finding the best markets, finding the worst markets, right? All these things. And in my true opinion, a lot of you guys are playing on hard mode for this, and it's really not as complicated as it really seems. So I'm just going to show you how you go on your computer, earn checks, and how to do it. So first and foremost, how do I get started? How do I start virtually wholesaling houses, right? I feel like we need to first lay out kind of lay it out, right? And this is something I'm not going to dive into too much, because I truly believe it's up to you. I only have one rule for this, but the biggest one's like, what virtual wholesaling market should I get? Like, should I do San Diego? Should I do San Bernardino? Should I do San Antonio, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando? Like, where should I virtually wholesale, right? And I was getting this question asked all the time, even today, looking at my DMs. And really, the honest truth is the best virtual wholesaling market is the one that everyone really doesn't talk about, but it has some parameters, right? So in wholesaling real estate, it's the art of finding somebody who wants to sell the property. You write up a contract for it, and then you sell that contract to a rich landlord or house flipper, usually for a finder's fee. You might make $5,000 for a finder's fee on that. You might make 10, 15, 20, 50,000. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but like, you can make tens of thousands of dollars. And heck, I've made $100,000 deals before. You've seen on the YouTube channel. Wholesaling real estate, especially virtual wholesaling, can change your life. But if you know how to completely implement the right market, it can be a big game changer. So honestly, I'm not going to get too much into the best market, because you can virtually wholesale any market theoretically, right? The one thing you have to understand, the one thing you kind of need to kind of put in your head is, we have customers, and these are our cash buyers. And so usually the more population an area has, the more customers or the more cash buyers there are. And what I've personally found is when the home prices are way too high, you just can't get wholesaling deals, right? So virtual wholesaling real estate is this teeter-totter, okay? It's like, okay, I want to get a lot of really good deals, but also there's areas you get a ton of deals, and there's no one wanting to buy them, right? So it's like me trying to sell, like, I don't know. Like, if I go out here and try to open up a Cambodian restaurant in Texas where there's only 2,000 people living there, it's going to be, I mean, it's not going to be well, right? Like, all the Cambodians are going to want to eat there, but like, there's going to be barely like any customers there, right? Because there's not many Cambodians in that area. So it's too niched out, right? Yeah, you might You might have the best restaurant in the world, but like no one's going to drive all the way in the middle of nowhere just to go get that restaurant, right? You might have the best pizza restaurant in all of rural Texas. No one's going to care. It's better to just have a mediocre pizza restaurant in like Dallas that like at least has some like better than average, because that'll do well, right? So what you have to truly understand here is it's a teeter-totter. So like to get really good discounted properties, you're going to have to find areas that aren't too expensive, right? So for example, I personally find in virtual wholesaling, you want to be below 400,000 for the median home price. How do you find the median home price? You just go to Zillow and you just search, Dallas, Texas median home price, and it'll pop up, especially for the county, right? And so once you understand that, we're like, okay, so I want to stay below 400,000 for the county. So that's easy. And I also want to make sure the population of the county is at least above 100,000. So my two rules here is you want to make sure that the median home price for the county is below 400,000, but you also want to make sure the population of the county is above 100,000. At least some customers. If you can get some customers and some really good deals, you'll do well, right? I mean, that's like if you're opening a hamburger shop, I want you to have at least 15,000 people living in the city. That's enough people wanting to buy hamburgers every day, right? For you to get some busy people coming in, right? You don't want to be the person that like, oh, I have the best burgers in the world, but no one wants to buy them because the burgers suck or there's just not enough people there. It's not enough people. You can have the best ice cream shop in Alaska and you ain't going to sell much, okay? Unless it's outside in the summer, okay? It's hilarious, but like you don't, okay? Yeah, I ain't going to sell ice to a Eskimo. Like it's stupid. But if I go to a place where it's hot out there, you would do really well. You just got to understand that curve. Nobody in virtual wholesaling talks about it. Nobody on YouTube talks about it. But you can grasp that concept. A lot of these things I'm going to talk about right now honestly become cakework. Like it's simple. You can be in the wrong market. It could ruin everything. You have the best list, the best strategies, the best script. If you have the wrong market, you're going to suck. And 99.99999% of people in the wrong market are outside of that criteria I said. It's insane. Everybody that picks the wrong market and they have a deal they can't sell magically, it's because it's outside that criteria. Median home price below 400,000, county population above 100. If you're in that little median home, you can sell any wholesaling deal. But nobody wants to have a conversation about that. It's the honest truth. So let's talk about this. If we're in the right market, and I feel like you guys go to freewholesaling.com, you understand this. So we're like the market, I think we get it. How do I get the top list to get started in wholesaling real estate, right? If I'm virtually wholesaling, what are the top markets for me to actually do well here, right? I've personally found in virtual wholesaling real estate, you can't drive for dollars. You can't reverse drive for dollars. You can virtually drive for dollars, but like there's better strategies out here to get a deal. So I'm not going to be like, oh, you have to go do virtual driving for dollars. It's great. I like it, but I truly believe there's better strategies. And so a lot of people think when I say virtual wholesaling, it's like cold call government list. That's all I say. That's all you have to do, right? That's the only thing Zach makes me do. No, there's other strategies, right? I'm going to keep it simple today because every guru that's trying to pitch you a course, they're trying to get you to do this crazy complicated PPC $4,000 a month thing for virtual wholesale. Like that's not what you should be doing. Like you got no money on your computer. That's probably why you're watching this. You want to get some wholesaling deals, right? And the people that I help train to get there, they're not dropping $4,000 or $5,000 a month for this. Like they're not doing that. All right, just FYI. They don't need to. And that's the cool part. So let's talk about the top list to get started. So number one, this is going to be the code violation. Now, a code violation is basically a list of people that are behind with the code for the city or county. So most likely, this is going to be somebody that has tall grass, structural damage to property, mold or mildew, something like that. This is a list you get for free from the code enforcement department. I love it. You go to freewholesaling.com and break down exactly how to pull this list. This is a great list starting out where most people can get it that costs no money at all. The next one here is going to be the tax liens list. Pretty simple. This is a list of people that are not paying their property taxes, probably because they can't afford to pay the tax, which means they might want to get rid of the property for cash and hopefully for a discount so we get under contract and then sell that deal for some money. That's the point here, right? We want to actually use the tax liens and we can market to that list and it works really well, right? Next one here, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Tax liens, you can pull that from the county's clerk of the court website. There's a lien list you can actually pull from there. It works really well. So tax liens, definitely write that down. Think about it, right? Number 3 here is going to be the probates. I've said probates time and time again. A lot of people they roll their eyes when they hear me talk about probates, but y'all don't roll your eyes when there's $40,000, $50,000 deals. People hop on here, Zach, I made 40 grand on a probate. You're actually right. Oh, you're rolling your eyes now? When I show you $100,000 deals I do on the vlogs, Are you rolling your eyes there? Not, you ain't rolling your dang eyes. I say probates because that makes people a ton of stupid, stinking money. And that's why I preach about it so much. Yeah, of course. Probates are a difficult list to get for on average if you compare them to other lists. But because it's more difficult, the reward is insane. That's the point. More risk, more difficulty, more reward. It's like any video game out here. So that's why I tell everyone to pull the probates. These are people that passed away. You're talking to the heirs of the property. So if grandma died, you're talking to the grandson or the son or daughter, and you say, hey, looking to sell the property. And most of them don't want to sell the house. So that is the harsh reality of wholesaling real estate that no one's going to tell you. Most of them do not want to sell the property. They're going to say no. But guess what? After talking to 30 or 40 of them, you're going to get one yes. You meet them at the house, you get under contract, you make 30 grand. Boom. You keep it up. Are you going to let the no's make you cry about it? No, of course not. You're just going to get into it, make some money. That is the point here, guys and gals. Probates are great. I love the probates. If you are not doing the probates, either you have a knowledge issue or you have a motivation issue. I would say you probably have a motivation issue, not a knowledge issue, because all the knowledge is at freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course. So FYI, freewholesaling.com, freewholesaling.com. You go there, show you how to do it right. Next here, I absolutely love this list for virtual wholesaling, especially when you're kind of, you're using some paid lists, right? You're bumping up the volume a lot more, right? This is going to be the high equity stacked lists. So this is going to be a list on like listrei.com where you can get properties that have high equity. So what is equity, right? Equity is just basically a calculation of what somebody owes on a property versus what it's worth. So if the property is estimated to be worth $200,000 and there is a $80,000 mortgage, there is roughly, values are hearsay sometimes, but like I might as well have 200 grand from the 120. Yeah, no. So if $80,000 owed, that's $120,000 in equity. 120,000 in the equity divided by the 200 will show a percentage on that. And that's kind of basically how you get an equity percent on there. So high equity. So people that have maybe over 50% equity, 60% equity or above, I prefer 60% equity, honestly, for a lot of these deals. If you find those people and then it's called a stacked list. So I get the high equity right here and I stack another motivating factor on that. These are a great list for calling, texting, whatever you want to do. So basically, I get the high equities and then I'll stack a tax lien on it. Maybe I'll stack a probate. Maybe all the high equities that are going up to auction soon for a pre-foreclosure. These are great lists right now for you to stack and actually get a lot of good wholesaling deals. So high equity stacked is a great one. Next here are the classic pre-foreclosures. I do not like cold calling this list, but I would say that this is a great list for anyone out here that just wants to get in front of motivated sellers. They're sick of people not wanting to sell the property. This is a good list. There's a lot of urgency with these people. They're losing their house in the next 30, 60, sometimes 90 days. And this is a great list to get in front of these people that are in a tough situation. If you like doing creative financing deals, is another great one too. If you like, again, wholesaling deals, right? It's a great one. There is a lot of denial on this one. You have to understand the pre-foreclosure process. I have about an hour presentation inside of freewholesaling.com, really doing the entire pre-foreclosure from like start to finish, the entire thing. I would recommend everybody goes there. I hate, you probably need a full hour of me explaining it for you to truly understand it, because your seller is going to be in the situation. They're going to be like, hey, Zach, like, how can I get out of this? Or like, how can you help me out? And you're going to have to kind of understand the process. I have visual graphics. I'm a very big visual learner and all these. So you just go to freewholesaling.com. You go in there too, right? But you go do the pre-foreclosures, costs no money. You can go to the public records, go to list pendants or the notice of default section. Sometimes they're called pre-nods. There's a lot of terms. I'm not trying to get all fancy for you guys here, but it's a great list to be going after. Most people don't like going after them for some reason. I don't know. I'm just telling you, you have to go and actually pull these lists. If you don't do it, you won't do well. It drives me crazy, but I'm telling you, if you go out here and actually pull this list, you'll do well. All I'm saying, you just got to do it. Remember, is it a motivation issue or a knowledge issue? I can fix the knowledge issue. The motivation issue, you got to think about it to yourself, like why you're having that issue, right? Next here is the water shut off list. I could just go for like 4 hours right now of like lists that will give you wholesaling deals. Okay. I'm giving you some of my top ones. Obviously, there's more than one you can be going after, right? But this is a list of people that had their water shut off due to non-payment. They're not paying the water bill. There's no water running the house. You probably want to get rid of the house. You probably want to sell it. I love the water shut-off list. And for that example, you just go to the water department or the utility department and ask for a list of all the people that aren't paying their water and it got shut off due to non-payment. Pretty simple how to pull that list. I mean, I don't think it's that complicated, but you go there, I show you on freewholesaling.com how to do it, and you get a bunch of lists. And once you get these lists, We want to start calling, texting, you send direct mail, like you do a million things. But like you just want to get their phone number. And the best way to get their phone number is through a process we call skip tracing. Now, again, what is skip tracing? Skip tracing used to be a detective term, actually, of finding somebody's whereabouts, right? Oh, crazy, right? Basically, if I get a list of people that have their water shut off due to non-payment, they probably want to get rid of the property for cash. The best way I can tell you to find someone's phone number is just using a website, right? So you can pay for a list like this. Usually it's around 10, 12, sometimes 15 cents a record to get somebody's phone number, which just get expensive. You got thousands and thousands of leads. Like I get it. Like it gets expensive. There are websites like truepeoplesearch.com. Love truepeoplesearch.com. It's a website. You get anyone's phone number basically for free. It's about 55 to 65% accurate. Depends what you want to do on there. It's a great way to do it. I do want everyone to just make a quick announcement. We are in the next month or two doing a big announcement on skip tracing. We're working on something in the works that is going to be 3 to 4 times more accurate than truepeoplesearch.com. That literally is free. It's very exciting. So make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. You subscribe to the Flip with Rick YouTube channel and the Rickin YouTube channel. You do not want to miss that announcement in the next month or two. It's coming out. Truepeoplesearch.com. It's going to be no more after 3 or 4 months. We can't announce it right now. We're still in the testing of it. But it will be to the people for free, obviously. So let me know in the comments if that's something you want. I don't want to tease anyone there, but just give me FYI. Make sure you subscribe, because if you're not subscribed, you ain't going to get that stuff, and you're going to miss out, and then your competition's going to do well. Just saying. But for now, truepeoplesearch.com. You can pay like PropStream, probably an amazing one. ListREI.com is the 7-day free trial of the PropStream. ZachData.com's batch leads. That's another great one, right? There's a lot of great sources out here to get data. There's a great sources out here, but I would say if you got no money, stick to truepeoplesearch.com, right? And now we got their phone numbers. We got a list of people associated with this. How do we actually find these deals, right? How do we contact these sellers, right? Getting in contact with them is basically what we call, it's kind of marketing, but this is called a marketing channel. And so we have a list and then we have a channel, right? Honestly, it's akin to a rod and a reel, right? So if you're fishing and you have it's a rod and a reel, but also it's basically the rod and reel and a bait. Sorry, I'm getting that confused, but I've been fishing way too much lately. But basically, if you have a rod and reel and you have a bait on the hook, right? If I go fishing right here and I have the best bait in the world, but my rod snaps in half because it's a big fish, I ain't going to catch the fish. On the other hand, I might have the best rod and reel in the world, the most perfect $50,000 one, but I have like really bad bait. The fish ain't going to grab it and ain't going to get the fish. So it's like you want them both to be as good as possible, obviously. But if one's going to suck, the whole thing's not going to work. And so in wholesaling, you could have the best list, the best skip tracing. Heck, you could have the best market. But if one of them not working, it's not going to do well. That's why I'm telling you, you got to get these all right for you to actually have success. But it's really like I have rules, and if you follow the rules, you'll be fine. So when you get in contact with the sellers of the list, how do we do it right? I prefer cold calling. Cold calling is hands down be my favorite. Now, I know everyone rolls their eyes. They're like, oh, Zach's doing another cold calling video today. Oh, right. I talk about cold calling a lot. I absolutely love cold calling because it's literally you're using your phone and you're calling people up. Hey, are you looking to sell your property, right? You just call, you get their phone number, boom, call them, you get wholesaling deals, right? I love it. You get better at talking to sellers, you're training, you beat your competition by doing it, and people get very successful by doing it. Now, that's not everyone's cup of tea. I completely get it, right? There's other strategies. And so cold calling is going to be my favorite. At freelisting.com, we teach you how to do it. But really, there's other ones, right? SMS text blasting, a lot of people think it's like you have to pay for it, right? I prefer you pay for it, right? SMSZach.com is hands down the best texting platform ever out here, but you don't have to pay for texting, right? You can actually use your personal cell phone number, Google Voice it. You have multiple Google Voice accounts if you know how to use VPNs and phone numbers the correct way, right? There's ways to hack the system, right? But you can just text on your phone like 5 or 6 an hour for like 10 hours. You get like, if you really want to get creative, you could probably send 50 texts a day for free on just your personal cell phone. Now you got to deal with that problem, obviously, but you can text for free. I'm telling you, 50 a day for times 30, that's what, 1,500? That math's right. That's a lot of text you can put out in a month. And over time, that should lead you to some wholesaling deals. Problem is, no one's willing to do that because it's extra work. And when you got to do extra work, you get extra money and you do extra deals, right? So you can text blast sellers. You can just send them texts, see if they want to sell the property. That's a great one. really texting and calling is going to be your best one here. I'm not telling anyone to pull $4,000 a month on Facebook ads. I got no service. I'm trying to sell you on this, right? I don't get paid when you cold call them and do deals, right? One thing I will tell you that is really underrated severely in virtual wholesaling are what we call digital bandit signs. Digital bandit signs are basically I think so. What bandit signs are, right? I'm trying to pretend you don't know anything about virtual wholesaling. Bandit signs are basically those signs you see outside, probably when you're driving around town. Before you got into wholesaling, you thought they were butt ugly, right? It said, "We buy houses cash," or "We buy ugly houses," and it has a phone number on it, right? That's called a bandit sign, right? And because you're like a bandit at the night, you're putting the sign out, right? That's how I made my first $100,000 in wholesaling real estate in high school. Love bandit sign. Problem in virtual wholesaling, I can't go on Albuquerque Avenue and wherever in Houston and put that out because I live in Florida. Like, I can't do that. But what you can do instead is you can put bandit signs out in the digital space, Craigslist, Facebook ads, Facebook groups. Now, you're not running Facebook ads. You're actually putting signs on it. You go to freelisting.com. We break this all down. But you can actually go and make posts on Craigslist and Facebook groups to actually get inbound leads coming into you. It's amazing. We first released it in Flipbook Plus, the Digital Bandit Sign Academy, and then we have some free tutorials on how to do it inside of freelisting.com. Also, here's the cool part. It was really hard to do like 3 or 4 years ago, but with AI, it's simple, right? Obviously, the ad copy takes forever, but AI makes you do it in like 5 seconds. That's why I love it. So digital bandit signs, you actually post them out. If you consistently will do it every single day, you'll actually do really well with it. I would argue the vast majority of people watching this will not at all even do digital bandit signs. I would also probably think that 90% of people watching this have never even put out a digital bandit sign once. If you have, let me know in the comment. But the people, they're not doing it. They hear me say it, but they're not doing it. And so maybe this is your little call. You should do some digital bandit signs. Go to freelisting.com. I'll show you how to do it. You know how much freelisting.com costs? It costs $0. Zero. Freelisting.com, $0. It costs literally nothing. Okay. So this comes back to the next part. How do I close a seller in virtual wholesaling? I go, oh my gosh, what's this process? How do I close a seller, right? Closing a seller is really not as complicated as it seems. So when I'm calling, texting, digital bandit signs, whatever my process is. When I talk to a seller, I usually let them know, hey, my name is Zach. I'm looking to buy a couple more properties for cash in the area. Are you looking to sell your house? Pretty simple, right? That's my freelisting.com. So my scripts, that's it. So they say, yes, I'm looking to sell my property. And then everyone goes blank. They're like, oh, what do I say next? Right? They oh my gosh, what do I do? Right? I hate to tell you, the guru's got it wrong. It's really easy. It's really easy. You just got to follow my scripts. You're basically an actor at this point. I give you the scripts, be the star of the show. Okay. You basically just explain to the seller, right? I get MCTP, talk about their motivation, their condition, time frame, price. I know I'm saying a lot at you right now. Freelisting.com, we really break it down step by step. So I'm assuming you went to freelisting.com, but really you're going to get asked to a point. What's the difference between virtual wholesaling, regular wholesaling, or the phones, right? Really, you got your phone right here, right? So, okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm talking to the seller right here, right? Boop, boop, boop. And now I'm calling the seller, right? Trying to get the deal. And this is the point where people in virtual wholesaling, probably the point you're actually just skip to the video all the way to this point because this is the only point you want to know. What do I say? I'm on the phone and the seller says, okay, just come to my house at 4:00. Most people are like, what? And then they just lose the deal, right? And they're like, oh, the deal just fell through. Oh, this wholesaling thing sucks. No, you suck. Okay. You're just not saying it the right way. So what's the script, right? Someone says, this is the biggest, what if they find out I don't live in this area? I get asked this, guys, why do they do live cold calls in New Hampshire, North Dakota, and I close deals all day, every day? It's because the way I present myself, the way I say my script, and the way I talk to the seller in the right way will dictate the entire conversation. So let's kind of explain. Someone says, oh, it looks like you're calling from a Florida area code. What's going on, right? I say that's right. Hey, the way our company works is we actually agree on a price up front so we don't waste your time or my time. And then my partner who actually lives in that area is going to go by the house, look at it inside, and really take pictures, inspect the property, make sure it's all good. Now, them going inside of the property, it's really not going to affect the price at all. Don't worry about that. We just want to put eyes on the property. And you have my word, if the property is not as bad as you're saying, I know it needs some work here and there, but honestly, as long as the roof's not caving in or anything like that, we can commit to a price. But just FYI, if it does need a lot more work than we thought, I know that tenant, you haven't seen the house in 2 years, I can't guarantee it. Obviously, we've had properties with termites and all these issues, and I can go on forever. But as you know, we have to agree to a price up front because I don't want my people driving hours and hours to this property, just wasting your time and my time. Does that make sense to you? Okay, perfect. And then you get from there, right? And then you have the conversation, you get the offer, my partner's at this, blah, blah, blah. And then basically in freelisting.com, freelisting.com, I actually have hours of me talking to sellers on the phone. You can see me. But once we agree on a price, this is the biggest issue. Okay. This is something I really, we need to hammer home right now. Okay. This is a problem. It might not be a sexy thing to say, but if Zach Ginn is making a virtual wholesaling video, he has to say this or I will not sleep at night tonight. I will go to bed tonight and I will not sleep knowing I have failed the wholesaling community in virtual wholesaling if I did not say this one fact. So this one fact, first and foremost, is about the contracts, okay, in virtual wholesaling. The contracts in wholesaling is easy. Virtual wholesaling is easy too, but you got to do something the right way. So if you want my scripts, if you want my contracts, what to say, when to say, the entire thing, you actually want to see me talk to these people live, I have a private server inside of freelisting.com. I actually host my own videos inside of freelisting.com. I pay tens of thousands of dollars just to have freelisting.com up every single month with a bandwidth, editors, keeping everything up. It's insane. But the reason why I do that is because I need the people to just learn wholesaling for free. I need to keep this industry up. It saved my life. And I truly believe you should really benefit from that too. And so I'm just being honest with you. No one else wants to create a free wholesaling course. And the problem is YouTube they're taking down videos left and right of me talking to sellers live due to privacy issues with first name, last name, property address associated with it. So I have to have a private server with this information, and it is in freelisting.com. So I would recommend you go to freelisting.com for that. But we need to talk about the elephant in the room here. What's my big rule? What is it? All right. So hopefully I grabbed your attention. I had to clap a little bit, get you guys excited because, guys, I have to break your programming in your mind. Every stupid virtual wholesaling guru out here crying about, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, the virtual wholesaling sucks. It's terrible. Or, well, I'm not getting any virtual wholesaling deals. This is exactly why. Let me break down. So it's how you get the contracts done. All right. So what I say, freelisting.com, it's got it all done. So this is how most guru virtual wholesaling tutorials happen. This is how most virtual wholesalers do it, right? My partner said we can buy the house for $100,000. Oh, you want to sell it for 130? Well, can you do 110? You're at 115. We can do 115,000. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to send you over a contract over email. I'm just going to send it over. You sign it. Okay. Okay. Perfect. And I closed the deal. I'm a king guy. Oh yeah, I'm a big man. I closed the deal. Woo! They go to bed. They're high-fiving. They're all gangster. And then the next day, I sent the DocuSign. Well, why isn't it signed? Call the seller. Seller's not answering the dang phone. This is what virtual wholesaling just sucks. I'm going to buy that. You know what? I'm going to buy the guy's $12,000 Facebook ad course. That's going to change my life, right? That's how the virtual wholesaling game is said by 90% of the YouTube out here. Like it's literally built for you to fail. It's built for you to fail. It is ridiculous. And if you just change a little bit of your conversation, just a little bit, you won't have any problems with sellers ghosting you. But every guy says, oh, the deal fell through. The seller ghosted me. Why did the seller ghost you? Because he didn't follow what Zach said. So let me tell you how a gangster closes over the phone. So it's like, okay, right? Now, I'm talking to my partner. He said he has to buy the house for $100,000. You want to sell for what, $130,000? I can't do that. That's way too high. Can you do $110,000? You got to work with me here. Rick will not. He won't even look at 130. He'll scream at me. Trust me. He's not good. He's in a crabby mood today. 115. You know what? If 150, you're really pulling my leg here, John. How about this? If you can agree to 115 today, then we can do it. Tomorrow, I can't guarantee that. If you can do it today, we can. Okay. You can? Yes. Okay. So stay on the phone with me, John. What I need to do is, because I got to get this done as soon as possible. It's what time is it? It's 4:00 right now. I have to put this in because I know you want to sell this in about 20 days. What we need to do is we have to go bring this to the title company ASAP. They close at 5. So what I'm going to do right now is, what's your email, John? Right. Okay. What I just emailed you is an agreement for us to purchase the property. What I need for you is to sign that, look it over, but sign. I'm just going to stay on the phone with you. If you have any questions, we got to get that signed and I got to send it over to the title company as soon as possible. So we get your money in the fastest possible time. Read through it. Okay. Inspection. So inspection period, basically we have a right within that days to, if there is an issue, we can renegotiate the price maybe with you. Maybe we might have to just back out of the deal. Unfortunately, with the inspection period, it's up to our discretion to inspect the property and see if it is what you say. What this basically means is, I know, John, I trust you. You're a man of your word. I'm a man of my word. There are crazy people out here that say their house is perfect, and then we have our guys go out there and it's completely infested with termites, and we would have lost like $50,000 or $60,000 just buying that house. So we have to have at least some period for us to inspect the property. That inspection period is just one day. We're not nickel and diming you here. That's basically what it is. I know that was a big concern for you. Okay. No, that's what it was. Is that okay with you? Oh, good. Awesome. So what we're going to do here is go here. Oh, what line? Okay. Page 3. That's how we do it. And so like the conversation like that goes for like 4 minutes and then they sign. The problem is when your motivated seller just gets sent a contract, you hang up. They read inspection period. They read something like inspection period. What's that? This is fishy. I'm not doing this. And then boom. That goes to seller. That goes to wholesaler, and the deal's dead. But because I was willing to stay on the phone and answer his objection live while he had it on in front of him, he felt comfortable and he signed the contract. Plus, he's like, "Oh my god, this Zach guy's like annoying. I gotta get off the phone with him. It's happy hour in 30 minutes. We gotta go, right?" So they're like, "Okay, I'll just sign it, get him off the phone." Right? That is a huge difference between people that actually close a lot of good virtual wholesaling deals, people that don't. They stay on the phone on DocuSign, Dotloop, whatever the service it is, to get the deal sold. Most wholesalers are not willing to do that. It's honestly really sad. Most wholesalers are not willing to do that. If you are willing to do that, I can tell you that is how you do it. All right. And so how do I get contracts signed too virtually? We say this a lot on freelisting.com, but there is a website basically called DocuSign, where basically you can just get contracts signed virtually. It's legally binding. It's all great. I love that website. Does cost some money. There are free services. You can look up how to do it in other ways. DocuSign's hands down one of my favorite ones on there. And that's how you get a lot of the contracts signed. So DocuSign's a great one. It's really simple. And we show you exactly how to do the contracts and everything at freelisting.com. Now, the next part here, this is where they get a little stressed out. And honestly, they get stressed out because I feel like they don't understand the process. And once you understand the process, it actually gets a lot easier. So let's talk about this. The next part here is basically getting the pictures, right? So it's a big part of contention in virtual wholesaling, right? It's getting the pictures done, right? Honestly, there's really, what is it? It's like 5 or 6 ways to get pictures of a house if you have money or don't have money. I hate to break it to you, but you're going to have to get some pictures of the house so you can actually show it to a potential cash buyer. And what I've personally found is it's got to be just one of these. All right. So what is it, right? Basically, you can get your cash buyer if you trust them to go out, take pictures of the house for you. It's iffy, right? I mean, you gotta have a lot of trust in the cash buyer, but it is an option. Okay. Now, the next one is you can pay somebody on Facebook to go out here and just take pictures of the house. You do run a risk of them, maybe if they're another wholesaler trying to steal your deal. Most of the time, they're not. They're fine. But Facebook, Craigslist, that is a way to do it. Unfortunately, that does cost money. Cash buyer thing does not cost money too. You can pay a realtor or have a realtor go walk through with a cash buyer. And you say, hey, you'll be the first person to get it. You have the first right of refusal, but you do got to send me pictures in return for that. Is that a deal? And most of the time they're like, okay, that's fine. So they take pictures of the house, right? Fine. The next one is basically you can get a BPO agent or basically a broker price option photographer or hire a photographer, take professional pictures. It's pretty expensive. BPO agencies sometimes do it for like 70, 75 is like the cheapest I've seen. But not that bad. Unless you're actually like really professional with it. It's a little costly when you're doing a lot of deals. If you're like, if you do it at the level that I am, it's fine. But like, I don't think for most beginners, don't do it. And the next one's like, you got no money, right? You can do a JV partner. I'm virtually wholesaling Greenville, South Carolina. I can't get pictures. I got no cash, right? I'm going to go and find a local wholesaler in Greenville that I can trust. I know there's trust involved on this. We're going to get the deal. We're going to sign a JV agreement. He's going to go out and take pictures for me and then find a cash buyer. And then we're going to split the deal 50-50. That is an option. Is it my preferred one? Probably not if you have buyers already set there, but it is an option I truly believe you should understand. So it's something just think about, right? It is an option to get pictures. I prefer at least 75 pictures and a video walkthrough on the entire house. I know that's weird to say, but I would prefer videos and pictures just so I know what I'm getting into. Videos can really get a big change, right? And so basically we'll get a cash buyer and we'll lock up the deal. And that's how we kind of do the process there. But basically, once we get that original contract signed, we are going to go to the title company and we're basically going to give the contract to them. And this is another one, like, how do I find a good title company for virtual wholesaling real estate, right? The best way I found virtual wholesaling title companies is just Facebook groups, like legit. So if I'm going out here wholesaling in Cincinnati, Ohio, I'm going to go to the Cincinnati Real Estate Investors Network. I'm going to make a post. Hey, I'm virtually wholesaling in Cincinnati. What are the best title companies for wholesaling real estate? And there's going to be some cash buyers on there. They're going to say, hey, this is the title company I use. They're great. They do a lot of wholesaling transactions. You'll probably get 4 or 5 title companies. Also, if you're like scared to post for some reason, I don't know why you're scared to post, but you can just go to the search tab in these things and search title companies wholesaling. So title companies space wholesaling inside the Cincinnati Real Estate Investors Group, and title companies will just pop up everywhere. This is a good old, and then all these posts, you're going to find like ABC Title Network is going to be like listed like on 5 or 6 posts everywhere. Okay. That's probably a good one to be doing, right? That's how you find the best title companies. It's honestly, it's that or you cold call every single title company. And honestly, I'd rather take a referral from there and do it. So from there, we're going to show properties to cash buyers. How do we do this right? Same thing with pictures. I can hire someone from Facebook or Craigslist to be the person who's going to show the property. I can have a real estate agent. I can pay them to show it. Percentage of the deal. I can have a JV partner do it. You could hire basically a BPO person to go do it, broker price option on there. If you're not familiar with it, just look it up. But you can do it. Unfortunately, it's not as good as you personally doing it. I get it, but we got to make do with what we can. A JV partner or a cash buyer that has a realtor with them is probably going to be the best one. You got no money. I would prefer the realtor, honestly, because the risk reward's pretty good. But yeah, if a realtor tries to screw you, they can lose your license. So I kind of like that. But I'm telling you, showing the property to the cash buyer, the only rule I always have on this is make sure that they know if they talk to the seller, they're going to lose out on the deal. That is my one rule. Sorry, but I personally lost a lot of deals by doing that, starting out as a beginner virtually wholesaling. That was a big lesson I had to learn. And once you learn how to overcome that lesson, it's game over. You'll do well. So showing the property to cash buyers, it's not as complicated. Call them up. Hey, I can buy that property for $150. Okay, perfect. What's a good time for me to go by or you to go by and look at the property? Okay, well, I can do 4:00 Wednesday. I call the seller up. I have maybe my JV partner, a realtor to go by at that time. They'll walk through the house, see if it's a yeah or nay. We'll get the assignment of contract signed, basically me signing the contract. So there's basically 2 types of contracts. There is a purchase and sale agreement, and then there is a assignment of contract. The purchase and sale agreement is basically an agreement for me to purchase the property for a certain price. Then the assignment of contract is me selling that contract profit. Doing that, it's going to land you your $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 assignment fee, the finder's fee. That's the moolah, baby. It's what we're looking for, right? So how do we find these people? How do we find the people that are going to pay me? How am I going to get paid? How am I going to get that cash? How am I doing it, right? Like, honestly, if you're virtually wholesaling, you want to get a deal as soon as possible, like ASAP. This is what it is. All right. You are going to go to listrei.com, listrei.com, and search PropStream for the cash sales. Let me say it one more time. This is going to be a list from PropStream of every single person that has bought a house for cash in your zip code, in that county, in that city for the past 30 days or the past 4 years, right? You just get a list of people buying houses for cash and you can call them. That's what the cash sales list is. Every cash buyer is on that list. Skip tracing them is a little more difficult, costs some money, or use cheapdealsearch.com or the new service we're coming out soon. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. But I can tell you guys, you don't want to miss that one. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. But listrei.com is a great source, but you can get a free trial there too. But if you got no money, what's another going on? I honestly would tell you, I would cold call the for rent. Most of these for rents are just rich landlords looking to buy more rental properties. And so if I have a deal locked up in the 44411 area code, I'm going to go to Zillow for rents on the 44411 area code. And I'm going to call all the people that are listing houses for rent. I'm going to get in front of the landlords and ask them, hey, I'm actually not looking to rent out your property. I'm actually a local wholesaler. Are you looking to buy any more properties for cash? Because I actually have a property under contract. I'm trying to sell the contract, and I was seeing if you're looking to buy any more for cash. Oh, you are looking to buy more rental properties because you're making all this money renting out property and you want to buy more of them. That's great. And then you have a conversation from there. You can sell it, right? You can actually ask your title companies if they have any cash buyers because they want you to sell your deals. You can also JV the deal. You can actually go to realtors that represent cash sales, like the cash sale list, and the realtors that are the buyer, basically buyer's agents for cash transactions, and they can be cash buyers. There's a million ways to sell your deal. But once you can once you can sell your deals really easy. If you know how to do the strategies and if you're in the right virtual wholesaling market, you'll do fine. The honest truth, and I want you to truly understand this. I truly want you to understand this. If you want to become successful right now, you want to get your first virtual wholesaling deal, you want to get 10 virtual wholesaling deals this year, you want to make 100 virtual wholesaling deals, the only thing that is going to dictate if you get that success or not, it's not me, it's not this YouTube channel, it's not this other guy's YouTube channel, it's not freewholesaling.com, it's you. It's not the weather, it's not the economy, it's some of these external things that aren't you. It all comes down to you. I'm pointing the finger right at you. You're going to be the person that determines how hard you're going to work. You're going to be the person that determines when you want to work, how you're going to work, how smart you're going to work. Are you actually going to do the things I say? I can only be your sensei, right? I can only be your teacher. I can only be the person that I can give you the key. I'm literally handing you a key. You have to take the key, go to the lock, and then unlock it yourself. I cannot unlock that lock for you. I can give you the key, but it's up to you to do the work to go find the lock and then unlock it from there. That's all I can do. So that's why I can sleep at night easy, because I give it to you. It's all up to you. And then a lot of people follow what I say that they do really well. That's why there's no other wholesaler on YouTube that has as many testimonials. Basically, people that got their first deal, or they got a ton of deals, or 100K a year, 100K a month. There's no person that has more than me in wholesaling real estate, because I know what I'm doing and I help as many people as possible. That's why I know what I say and why I have complete confidence when I tell you, is because I've helped so many people get rich. The question is, are you going to be the next person? And I've seen it time and time again. The ones that actually get rich, the people that actually listen to me, they're the ones that consistently show up every single day, have a reason why to show up every single day, and don't stop. They're not lazy bums. They go out here and do the work. They become successful. That's the key. So virtual wholesaling, if you want to learn how to do it, remember, I do have a free wholesaling course. That's kind of where most people learn it. It is at freewholesaling.com. That's how you can learn it. You just got to go to freewholesaling.com and learn actually how to wholesale absolutely for free, cost literally nothing. That is how you become successful.